Hey there! Welcome back to the Majestic Bean channel. In today's video, I'll be comparing the Barista Hustle and the Lelit Redwood Tamper. Now before we begin, we already have a Tamper comparison video that we did a couple of months ago. So if you haven't seen that one yet, you can do that by clicking the banner above my head. The Lelit Tamper came in with the box with our new Mara X espresso machine, but you can buy it separately for around 95 Australian dollars. The Barista Hustle, on the other hand, is the OG of our channel. We got it around a year ago for 90 Australian dollars. Both of these Tampers are flat-based precision units, the only difference being the width of the base. The Lelit Redwood has a 58.55mm base, whereas the Barista Hustle is 58.4mm. So in today's video, I would like to find out if that 1.5mm difference in tamping surface area translates into any difference in the taste of my espresso. And in order to do that, we'll make some espresso on the Mara X using both Tampers. So sit back, relax, and maybe grab a cup of coffee in case you get thirsty. Alrighty guys, so now we're gonna make 2 espressos. I'm using Single O's double jab espresso blend, consisting of a washed Colombian and a natural Ethiopian coffee. This is a very nice coffee. I like the way it tastes. So we're gonna see if these 2 Tampers make any difference in taste. Now for the recipe, I'll be dosing 16.5 grams of coffee with a yield of 37 grams. Time should be anywhere between 25 and 30-ish seconds. I'm also using the same grind setting and the same recipe for both espressos. So that way we see only the results and the difference, if any, the Tampers will make. Also, just as a side note, I'll be using both my WDT tool and distribution tool for both of these espresso shots. So that way, we only see the difference between the Tampers. First up is the Barista Hustle. And just so you know, despite the fact that I have the option of flow profiling and pre-infusion on the Lelit Mara X, for this video, I'll be only using the stock flow profile, which is around 2 turns on the dial on top of the mushroom. And we're extracting at 9 bar, which is standard espresso pressure. Alrighty, so first shot of espresso is done using the Barista Hustle Tamper. We had 16.5 in, 37 out in 32 seconds. Which should be good. We'll try it a bit later. And now we're gonna use the Lelit Redwood Tamper, 58.55 tamping base. The interesting part about the Lelit Tamper is obviously it's heavier, so it generates a bit more force. So we'll see if that will be evident in the extraction time of this espresso shot. Alrighty, let's see. there we have it, second shot done. And surprisingly, this time it was 16.5 in, 37 out in 30 seconds. So just a second or two faster. Basically what that means is I was applying similar pressure despite the weight difference between these two tampers, which is good. Means my pressure is calibrated and my wrist is doing all the job. So let's get back to the table and taste these two shots and see if we can notice any difference in taste at all. Alrighty, now for the exciting part of this video, we're gonna try these two espresso shots and see if we can notice any difference basically. I think I'll start with the Barista Hustle. Give it a little stir and do a little slurp. That's a very nice cup of espresso, to be honest. As expected, this is supposed to be a punchy, citrusy coffee, clean jabs of fruit and sparkling wine. I must say, this is a coffee with a low body, medium acidity, very well balanced. As the tasting notes say, it is very fruity, and you're getting kind of a tickling sensation on your tongue, which is probably what they're referring to when they're talking about the sparkling wine part. So the good thing about Single O is that they provide recipe cards as well. It's this card over here, and then in the back they provide recipes that they use for their coffees on commercial equipment in their roastery, and I just followed the recipe and got a delicious espresso. And I must say there is nothing wrong with this cup of coffee here, that I used the Barista Hustle Tamper for it. So this is all clear, good to go. Now we're gonna try the espresso that I used the Lelit Tamper to make it. A little stir, everyone knows the rules. Can't tell a difference, to be honest. This one is just a bit hotter because obviously we made it last. But other than that, it's basically the same cup of coffee. Same, low body, juicy, sparkling, tickling sensation on your tongue, nice fruity flavors, very well balanced, medium acidity, pretty much what you expect from a delicious cup of espresso. So where does this lead us? I think it's safe to make a conclusion that the 1.5 millimeter difference between the tamping base of the Lelit Tamper and the Barista Hustle Tamper does not make a noticeable difference. But that doesn't mean that I don't prefer one tamper over the other. And this might surprise you, but I've been using the Lelit Tamper 2 days into owning the Lelit Mara X, and I was very surprised by the quality finish on it, the nice weight it has when you're holding it, and also it's very useful when you are tamping low doses, meaning if you have a 15-gram basket and you're using around 15 grams in that basket. With the Barista Hustle Tamper, the base, this distance between the base and the top of the tamper is very low. So when you're pressing on the coffee puck, the tamper goes all the way in and you can't really balance on the sides to have a nice even tamper. Whereas with the Lelit Tamper, this part over here of the tamper is much higher than the Barista Hustle, and it provides a nice base for holding the tamper on the bottom and having an even tamp across the coffee puck. That is literally the main reason why I prefer this tamper to this Barista Hustle original gangster tamper that we had for the past year. But this doesn't mean that the Barista Hustle Tamper is worse than the Lelit Tamper, because, for example, if we were in a commercial setting in a cafe or a restaurant or wherever you would need to pump a lot of coffees, the Barista Hustle Tamper would come in handy due to its light weight, and as a consequence of that, the lighter strain on your arm when you're tamping consecutive coffees. So if you're making 200 coffees a day, you would definitely feel the difference between this heavier tamper over here and the lighter Barista Hustle Tamper. But in my case, for making espresso at home, the Lelit Tamper is a much better solution due to the fact that I can use it as a nice level base when I'm tamping, so I get an even tamp across the board. So there we have it, guys. I think it's safe to conclude that the difference in the tamping base between these two tampers does not make a difference in taste. So that 1.5 millimeter difference does not affect the taste at all. Now I have two questions for you guys that you can answer in the comments below. Number one, which tamper are you using at home? Is it a precision tamper or just a regular 58 millimeter tamper? And the second question is, do you prefer a heavier tamper such as the Lelit or something lighter such as the Barista Hustle Tamper? Also, if you like this video and you learned something new, make sure you click the like button so you let the YouTube gods know that you enjoy our content. While you're there, you can press the subscribe button and the bell button as well, so you get notified every time we post new content. With that being said, I want to thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.